Now, all of this could have been avoided if she was just left to her own devices. But those people didn't take no for an answer. They forced her away from her home, killed her people, and broke her. Innocents, teenagers, slaughtered like pigs. Are you going to do that to any sorcerers you meet?
No.
Do you swear?
Do I look like I'm one of the Mad Guard?
Do you swear?
Well, even if you're not gonna do it, you also have to swear that you don't bring them back to the castle, which is full of those madmen.
I am duty bound to bring back sorcerers.
Why aren't you bringing us?
You've been to the
Not
castle.
sorcerers. Technically, we all.
Unless that was a lie.
Not at all. Right, yeah. Yeah, this is a thing that can happen today.
Well, the way that I see it, if you are gonna continue with your so-called duty, despite knowing what it entails for the people you bring to the castle, then you're not innocent, are you?
I don't mind. Kevin?
You're not explorers, you are
Yes, Nia.
essentially executioners.
You're gonna
Reaver.
have to take foot in this one. You and Nilvarius and Salvo, okay?
Reavers is what the best thing that you can call them.
You guys are gonna
Fair
have to
enough.
take point in this one, alright?
Yeah, sure. Why?
Wonderful. It has taken all of my self-control to be here right now.
We are trying to put an end to the madness.
Taking anyone inside the castle isn't really going to help, is it?
That's why we're bringing
Oh.
sorceresses and sorcerers.
Sorcerers
People who can wield magic to break the curse.
lose their ability to use magic when they're inside the castle.
What?
Only if they're killers.
No. Either they
Yes.
get killed by the king, or they lose their ability to cast spells. Neither is going to help break the curse.
He is going to fly back to the ship.
Tell you what. You guys are out exploring. Are you guys just exploring the world, or are you exploring specifically for magic users?
We're looking for a civilization that can wield magic.
So part of why we were at that castle was so that we could try to break that curse as well.
I take it you failed?
Yes, we were not strong enough of magic users to do anything at all to that curse.
I didn't know that there was different abilities when it came to magic wielders.
Yes, that's why I think it's important to educate you right now, so that you do not bring back people who might not be able to help.
How do you determine a magic user's ability?
James, above table, what did primal magic convert to?
Primal.
Is it still primal?
Yep.
Okay. So, that curse on that castle, we learned a few things about. It is an incredibly powerful curse, and it is a primal curse. The only people who can really learn anything about that curse or attempt to fix that curse have to have, I think we figured out it was something like a 13th rank of magic.
What is ranks of magic?
I haven't reached anywhere near that level, so I can't explain it well, but it is one of the highest levels of magic that exists. There are different types of magic, primal being just one of a few of them.
You just see this man's heart sink further and further and further. Like, he is in his late 20s. He has dedicated the majority of his life to looking for people who can break this curse to free the nation. And to hear how much more impossible it is than he already thought it was, it is world-shattering to him.
James, do I still have the copy of the curse details that I made all the way back then?
No.
I have notes in it. I should have notes in it, right?
We figured out that the charcoal rubbings were useless. I don't remember if you were there for that session when we figured that out or not. So, because they were useless, there was no reason to hang on to them.
Well, yeah, I'm stumped. If Nia stayed there, she was gonna kill someone, so she left.
That's fair. I don't mean to make this sound impossible. There is probably someone out there who can help, but I would encourage you to, as you find people, ask some of those questions so that you don't waste return trips.
You said they need to be capable of 13th rank primal magic?
If I remember correctly, yes.
He basically carves that into the ship.
That's what we figured out about the curse. That's the origin of the curse. This is, if I remember right, 13th rank primal. So they would need to be able to wield at least the same, if not greater, magic than that to do anything to it.
And you say that is rare even in civilizations that can wield magic.
Yes.
How rare are you saying? His voice is trembling slightly.
James, what is the highest rank of magic of any of the NPCs that I have met? I think it was like 7th,
I think 8th.
maybe 8th. To put things into perspective a little bit there. James, does that include Yesla? She should have 10th, right?
Yesa has 11th.
Did everyone go silent?
I'm still
Is it
here.
problem? I found
we're
my
here.
audio. Damn. I thought it was too silent.
All right.
Sorry.
So to put it in perspective, most of the spellcasters that I have met in my travels were capable of no more than 7th or 8th rank. And the only person that I've met that was capable of higher than that was only capable of 11th rank, and they were a literal goddess.
The man just stops. His eyes, they are broken.
Kevin, I think you murdered him.
It's impossible then.
Well, it's not impossible, it's just very unlikely. And from what I hear about that castle,
You don't
Your
understand.
mission's not impossible.
It's not about making them free. It's about bringing an end to them. Once the curse is broken, the king has sworn to everyone that every person trapped in the castle will be terminated. Slain. Freed.
that's
You should not give up on that cause. It is not impossible.
But how you speak of it, it sounds
It's
like
gonna
not
take
even my
more.
grandchildren will succeed in this task.
It's not going to be an easy feat. It's not. I won't lie to you on that. But I'm sure that there are people out there who can solve this problem. I wanted you to be aware that just because someone has any magic does not mean that they should be brought there to help.
The guy starts crying. The first officer approaches.
All right.
Places its hand on him. And then just holds the guy.
the guy, the captain.
The captain.
Right. Well, sorry for the bad news. Could you maybe point out on exactly where the nearest port is? We have some people we picked up at sea we need to drop off.
The nearest one we know of? 7 weeks northeast. Sorry, northwest. Yeah, northwest.
Is that kind of in the direction we're going, or is it?
That's quite a bit north of where you're going.
Okay, but
You
it's like
guys are actually going southwest-west.
so it's in the other direction. But then it's 7 weeks for them, so it's only like a few weeks for us.
6 weeks for you.
I think it's a trading opportunity, and it's an opportunity to drop these people off somewhere.
And that's not the same direction they indicated Greystone was it, James?
Greystone's probably 20 degrees off from there.
Okay. Important question to ask.
Could we get both? Could they just share their map with us? Like some extra what locations do they know?
They're not allowed to
And
share
there's
their
like-
map.
Okay, and this is the Greystone one that they told us about more on our way.
Closer to being on your way, yes.
Okay, why don't we go to that one then?
No, let's not.
Well, I kind of want to buy some gunpowder and, you know.
You mean... Hold up. So, you remember stealing the vast majority of their gunpowder supply, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't know how much I stole.
As much as you could.
They have what was not in storage. They don't have anything in storage anymore. They have all
So
what's
what
on their
the fuck
person.
What the fuck did I have on like? What the fuck did I have the cannons for?
Because the ships already existed with their supplies.
Okay, never mind. I didn't know. I thought they had I thought they could make it. Thought they had a fucking red cobalt farm somewhere.
Oh no, when you guys were with them, you guys found out that they had no method of producing the substance.
Okay. I didn't know. I
Which
didn't
is
realize.
why you stole it instead of getting a recipe.
I stole it accidentally. Just for reference, I made a wish to get stuff, and I got that.
That's true. Just another point here. I don't want to go back to Greystone.
Yeah, of course we're not going back to Greystone. Greystone was just to the port. But okay, let's go to the one that's 11 weeks. That's 6 weeks away. Put it on our map. Drop off the people. Do some trading. And I'll leave these guys alone.
Alright.
That's an expensive. Oh.
So then you guys are leaving?
Shit.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Then you guys leave. Are you changing your course?
I say so, unless people object. I want to drop off these fishermen as fast as possible, to be honest.
I mean, I don't understand exactly why. We don't know what that port town looks like in terms of population.
It's
what
better than the
nation they're a
village.
part of.
Better
Yeah,
than
it's better than where they were, but don't we want to try to set them up somewhere actually good?
Is the nation we're going to something you consider actually good? It's a very peculiar place, and we don't know if these people will like it there either.
Well, you guys did a check last session and determined that these people were incompatible with the values of the nation that you guys are commonly from.
Yeah.
There you go. We'd rather
Okay.
put them somewhere
yeah.
else.
That's fair. Then yeah, we can do that.
Alright. So, adjusting course then. Can I get... let's see. A piloting law check or a survival check?
I'm opening my sheet. For travel, I'm using obsession for piloting, so that's what I'm. Will we train someone else? Actually, no. I have. Rather good.
Alright. Can I get the next 10d10, please? Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... 60-10, please, from someone.
That's a 1 on the last week.
Okay, roll the d10. Novarius, can you roll the 1d10, please?
Sorry, I'm refreshing because nothing was doing anything. I couldn't see any rolls being done. Give me a second. It's reloading.
Gotcha.
You said 60-10? Or just
No, you
roll
already
8?
rolled that. Just 1d10.
Yeah, I hit roll and I didn't see anything come
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Nasty weather for a solid week. Can I get one more
Did it
d10,
rain?
please? It's
What do
not
you mean when you
just...
say nasty weather?
It is storms, twisters.
Oh, Nia's happy.
Well, you're in a ship that is being thrown about throughout the air.
Yeah, sounds fun. We bowl.
Okay.
Finally, some good news.
And then you see a small island with a relatively small port. You're not sure if this ship could even fit in it. That being said, you don't necessarily have to dock at the port. You could dock at sea and then take a boat in.
Probably for the best.
let's do that.
Okay. So you dock at this port. Well, you dock and then take your ship in. Who is staying on a ship and who is going into this city? Well, village, more accurate.
I'll go in. I guess.
Does 9 want to come?
Tyrion
Actually,
is
yes, she
coming.
does.
Cool. Then I guess we're coming.
Alright.
I'll let Connor go be among civilization for a little while.
Mhm.
I guess I'm going and I'm taking the baby.
Navarius will go into town. We'll go into this little. Is it like an actual small town or is it a hamlet? What did you
It's a
actually
village,
specify it as?
around 2,000 people.
Okay. Yeah, I go in.
Kevin will stay with the ship, but he'll let Connor.
And T-Rain needs to buy and sell some supplies. Hey! Some people to sell steel to!
Yeah, they don't have any on the island, do they?
They have no method of producing it. They import all of theirs.
Nice. What do they export except for fish? Don't tell me it's fish.
No, they export wine.
Okay.
Wine
Better
and
than
silk.
fish.
Okay. So you arrive at this port, and there is a surprising diversity of races here.
Yeah, we found the non-racist.
Truly.
Okay, the town is called Seabreeze,
Good name.
and it's on the island of Katara.
Like from Avatar?
Spelt the same way, yes.
Ha. If anyone asks, our vessel is called Yang.
There is a surprising number of goblins.
Talk. Like, are they capable of speech and stuff?
They are. Can you speak Goblin?
I can speak Goblin.
I can speak yes.
Fair enough.
I will certainly speak.
Okay.
Connor, can you?
Okay.
I want
Because
Fair-
someone taught him.
goblins.
Fair enough then.
Also, would like to remind you this is one of the races that I supposedly genocided, and yet here they are. I don't know if I should be proud of or ashamed of that.
If you survivors don't make a genocide non-genocide.
Ashamed of that.
These goblins.
Genocide
Like,
does
is
not
being
equal
bad
extermination.
at mass murder better or worse?
These goblins are relatively large, almost medium in terms of size, and they are white and
been-
bulky.
Have they been interbreeding with humans or something?
You would hope not. Usually that produces hobgoblins.
Okay.
Oh, I love hobgoblins.
So,
They speak relatively simple, but well,
Coherent?
considering how simple it is. The humans seem to treat them as equals.
What do I think about their sentience?
The
Weird
less,
question, but you know why I'm asking.
the least form of sentience, but you are inclined to still call it sentience.
Spectacular. That's a good sign. That's a good sign.
Okay. So, what would you like to do?
find the mayor of sorts.
Okay. You find the prince's castle.
Can we get an audience?
Right, the whose castle?
The prince's castle.
Like a prince.
Yes.
Huh.
You can get an audience, but it's going to take a few hours. It's quite a long line.
Go. There's only 2,000 people. Why is everyone queuing here?
Well, about a dozen people go to see him each day, and he spends a fair bit of time with each person.
Very nice of him. I guess we can wait. Not exactly a huge rush. I can stay in the queue if you want to go explore, I guess. Kirain can do the trading.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just gonna ask him to house these fishermen and see if I can get some maps. That's pretty much all I want.
Okay, so you get in line. Who's waiting in line with them? If you leave the line, you're not allowed to return to the position where someone else is. You've got to go to the back of the line. So who's going in the line?
I don't know. I don't think Nia would. No, I think Nia would. She's the charisma person. No, wait, I have to spend time with. Is Nia okay with looking after the baby, or does she want me to?
She's fine to look after the baby.
Because I don't think the baby would enjoy being in line for a few hours.
Well, maybe with the baby they'll let us through.
I don't think they're gonna let us through because of the baby.
Well, you never know. These people seem very nice. And if the baby starts crying, they're sure to let us through.
Nah, let the baby have fun. This is supposed to be a learning experience for the baby, being like actual civilization.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Connor to, if he's willing, keep an eye on him.
Sure, Connor will go with Naya and the babe.
Spectacular. It is time to engage in Nia's greatest talent, sitting there and looking pretty.
Hmm.
Okay.
Okay. So who's not waiting in line then?
It'll be Connor, Naya, Nilvarius, and whoever else came.
Kirain is not online, I guess.
Yeah.
No, T-Rain is handling a lot of the shopping as quickly as he can. He's almost asking. No, he is just going to outright ask you, Sabo, if you can stall a bit.
Okay, I'll try.
Thank you. Okay. So eventually you... Actually... so which ones of you are not in line? Kevin's on the ship. Sabo's in
Honor
line.
Various. Naya.
Okay. Nilvarius, are you back?
Sounds like a resounding no.
Sorry, I'm back. What did I miss?
Perfect timing. Do you want to wait in line with them to see the prince, or do you want to do something else while they're waiting in line?
Why the fuck are we going to see the prince? We're just trying to immigrate these people here.
Yeah.
I do not wait in line then. I go do something else.
Okay, what would you like to do?
Mosey around, I guess. Look around, see if there's see if there are any. Hold on, let me think. Magically inclined people, even or a small library, even if they have a small library, anything along those lines.
The more you walk around, the less you see signs of magic. From the outside, it looked like any old town. Any old human town, that is. Kit Kat, stop that. As you're looking around, though, you're not seeing any signs of churches, you're not seeing any signs of arcane casters. This is a rather bland human town.
Is it as bland as to be interesting again, James?
Quite possibly.
You said it's really ethnically diverse. Are there actually elves that are here?
Half-elves, yes. Probably nearly 5% of the
No.
population are half-elves.
But no full elves?
No. I would imagine they would mingle here.
No, no full elves from what you can see.
I guess he just meanders about and just looks around, see if anything like catches his attention. Any activities in the street or street stalls or anything like that. Just everything else like along those lines.
Okay. There are some ancient tomes for sale, though they don't appear to be magical.
He's still interested. He goes looks.
Would you like to buy any of them? All of them collectively are only worth about 400 gold.
He what tomes are what are they? Am I allowed to like pick them up and thumb through them to decide if they're worth my time?
You're able to look at the cover for it, but you're not allowed to pick up the book.
It is an upset cat. Go do something about that.
Well, what exactly are the books? What do they entail? What are they? Shopkeep, can you tell me about these tomes?
Sorry, I was just giving the cat a treat so that it would stop crying. Okay. So there are the Chronicles of Eldora. There is
Eldora?
Flora and... Yeah, Eldora, not Eldara. There's Flora and Fauna of the Whispering Woods. The Nomads of the Shifting Sands. Songs of the Siren Isles. Mysteries of the Obsidian Pyramid. Treaties of the Lunar Realms. Legends of the Crystal Caverns. And A Merchant's Guide to the Deep Sea. Each of these books look to be at least 400 years old. Some of them are as old as probably nearly 4,000.
Okay. Can I take a perception check to determine if is he trying to swindle me, or is there enough to tell that these are, definitively like old and actually just generally worth the money that he's trying to sell them for me, or sell them to me too?
If you were a collector of old things, these would be worth it. If you're just after the information, then at this price, it's just not really worth it. The information's probably a bit out of date. It's more valuable as a... even then. This information is useful and interesting, but not important information as far as you can tell. This price for it is probably a bit excessive. Maybe twice or 3 times what it's truly worth to you. That being said, to a collector, this might actually be a bit of a steal.
Some of these books are rather interesting, but I'll tell you what. I'll give you 300 for the lot. I can guarantee you're probably not going to find other people willing, and I know you're still making a profit on me. What do you say?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
I'll tell you what. I'll give you 300 for the lot, and I already know you're making money on me, but I sincerely doubt you're going to find others with the coin to actually take these off your hands. What do you say?
Make me a diplomacy check.
Hold on.
You've got a deal.
Okay.
The Hobgoblin sells you the books.
Okay. He takes them up and can you write down someplace what those books were, or post them somewhere
Sure.
for me?
Okay. Well, I'm getting that for you. The rest of you who have been waiting in line, you are finally about to be seen. The guard
Nice.
stops you before bringing you in. They are going to confiscate any weapons and armor.
I think my armor is viewed as clothing, right?
They don't view your clothes as armor.
Cool.
I mean, we'll get them back, right?
Of course.
I surrender my arsenal, which is still pales in comparison to the arsenal that Nia has.
Yeah.
But I
He's a
have the
spear, he's
traps.
another spear, he's a sword, he's a naginata, he's a sword, he's a dagger, he's a sword, he's a spike, he's a sword.
They are going to check you, Nia. After having that many
That's it.
weapons on you, they are going to physically search you.
That's all she had on her.
Oh shit, they actually got a nat 20. Okay. They are certain that
Has a
you
little
have no
list.
weapons.
She has a little list of all the weapons she has, and she just kind of shows them to the guards if they care to look.
They acknowledge the list. And after they're done
It should
searching,
be
they
pretty clear
appreciate
that
you
they're
having
just kind
such a
of-
list.
It should be made clear that Nia is very proud of her arsenal, like collection for her, if it makes sense.
Meanwhile, Savo has no list and he's just searching all his pockets for traps.
Incidentally, are we allowed to talk to them, like to make small talk with the guard as they searches?
Yeah, he makes small talk.
Do they have any recommendation of notable blacksmiths?
Oh,
He's a collector,
Have
you see. She
iron
loves
on his
weapons.
shield.
It's kind of like her passion, if it makes sense. Unique weapons, strange weapons, weird weapons. Anything like that. So any blacksmith that might have something interesting or weird, she'd like to see him.
there is a gnome.
Say more.
They give you the name of the store.
Nia is interested.
The best blacksmith in the whole fucking world is the actual name of the store.
Based.
Nice.
In full
I'm gonna
capitals.
visit that with you. Sounds
It's
like
so
my
based.
kind of gnome.
I know, right?
Guys, any advice for talking to the prince? Like, how do we address him? Them. Him, them?
However you please, he won't care.
Alright, that's nice.
Sabo walks into the prince's room. Sup, bitch?
The door is open and you all let in.
Hello.
You just see the prince sitting on a small chair. It appears to be made out of wood. This room is not as nice as you would expect it to be for a prince. It's probably worth a total of 300 gold altogether.
Nice chair.
Thank you. He gestures for you to sit on a much nicer chair in front of him. There's multiple much nicer chairs in front of him.
Well, how
This
has
person
your day
can't be
been
older
so
than
far?
17. I've gotten a lot of the issues sorted that I needed to get sorted today. How have all of your days been? I
It's
I
gonna
don't
be interesting.
recognize any of you. Are you new to this location?
Yeah, we
Oh, just
What
got
are
here.
sailed
those
in today.
clothes?
Oh, they're Elven.
Oh.
Pretty, right?
He stands up and does a bit of a bow. I am Prince Kevin.
Oh, nice to meet you, Prince Kevin.
What are the odds?
Um,
I don't understand.
One of our companions is also called Kevin.
Oh,
Apologies for the disrespect.
you don't need to apologize. Come take a seat. He gestures for you to come and sit down.
I'll take a seat.
thank you. I'll take a seat.
So thank you all for waiting first and foremost. Can you tell me how I can help?
We are explorers, and we picked up some people who were stranded on an island, and we were hoping that you could home them.
Of course, we'd be happy to.
I think there's 11 of them.
It's no problem at all.
Where should they go?
Have them come here. I'll have a guard waiting outside with a red ring on his hat. He will
Yep.
organize the housing for them.
Thank you. Is there anything we can do for you for this favor?
This isn't a favor. You don't owe me anything for this.
Okay, that's very nice of you. And I guess the other question I had is if by any chance you have maps of the region, if it would be possible for us to copy them down.
Oh, we have a map of the island and the surrounding areas. We can give you access to that if you'd like.
That would be perfect.
Okay. Ooh. I don't want to have you wait back in line. I'll have another guard tomorrow with a blue hat and he'll have the map for you. He's taking notes on a little notepad.
Thank you.
You. You're very nice.
It's just my duty.
Oh,
And you do it admirably.
Very kind of you to say so.
say, I'm just curious. We learned your location from some people who come from Greystone. Have they been treating you fairly?
He leans back in his chair and you hear it creak.
Yes, that's a no.
They have been treating us as fairly as the difference in our societies will allow.
That's
We've had bad experiences with them in the past. As terrible as I think people can get.
I'm sorry that such a nice nation is in the vicinity of them. This was probably the most pleasant interaction I've had with the ruler. Of
I'm so
anything.
sorry to hear that. Would you like something to eat?
That's okay. We have food on the ship. Thank you. I don't want to take up too much of your time. You help a lot of people. Nia, is there anything you wanted?
That is all. I was just hoping to make your acquaintance, and I am very happy to have done so. Once again, you perform your duty admirably.
Thank you.
Hey, we really admire what you're doing here. Is there anything that your island needs that perhaps we could keep an eye
We saw
out
you from
for?
across the map, and we really dig your vibes. Just ain't any matter, by the way.
Oh, well, the main thing that we need is more money, really. Even though our taxes are so high, the people here we don't have many ways of generating enough money to
Oh,
cover what we need.
So
Well, I take it by now you've seen the taxes.
no.
Oh, well, we've got a 50% tax rate here.
For everything?
Yes.
Income?
Well, you do
Well,
what you have to, but
there's
still,
a-
that's rough.
There's only the money earned tax.
Oh, that's reasonable. Uh, hmm,
You say so,
do you
but
think?
not many people agree.
Oh,
Well, it is
those people
unfortunate.
should
There's a
see how should see how it works elsewhere. But they might not have taxes, but they don't have a nice place to live.
yes. Also, it is the nature of isolated nations to have to raise taxes in order to function properly.
When you say that more money is what you need, do you mean you need trade opportunities? Is there?
Currently we're 190,000 gold in debt. We need some way of making that money back.
Who are you in debt to? Like internal debt?
The Kingdom of Knights.
That
That's the
is
nation of Greystone.
ah.
Oh man.
How does that work? Do they send tax collectors? That why?
We've had to borrow money to. Well, there was a time after we first encountered them where we were starving. We had to borrow money to pay for food. Then we had to borrow some more money to actually afford to create some ships so that we could set out to explore to maybe discover some people to trade with. We're still waiting for them to arrive back. We have a single trading business, but that's going back and forth with the kingdom, and they are not a fan of paying our fees.
Hmm.
They pretty much ignore our tax rate entirely. It's a bit of a problem. Not that we
How
can
does
expect
that-
a greater nation than ours to pay, but it is difficult.
Well, there's always two sides to the transaction, and only one side, if it's an international trade, only your side should be paying taxes anyway, right?
No, so this is on with them coming here to buy and sell.
They come
We-
here to buy and sell.
When they are here to sell, that's when we think they should be paying taxes. Of course, we couldn't possibly enforce that, but we would never expect them to pay our taxes when we're selling. So when we're buying and selling to them in their lands.
Okay. But when you're buying and selling in their lands, it's turns out to the same as when they're buying and selling here right now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Can't really help you with that one.
Oh, of
I'm
course not.
Sure
I wouldn't expect you to. I'm sorry,
Not
I
sure
didn't
how
mean to
international-
unload such
No.
these.
No, it's thank you for sharing. It's I'm just not sure how international taxes should work in the first place. It would seem that it shouldn't matter to me, at least, where the trade is made, here or there, or in the sea. Just because the trade is made on your island, probably shouldn't be different from it being made elsewhere.
James.
But what I can tell you is that we possibly can share our map with you as well, and you might find a
Yeah, that's
better
good.
trading partner there.
We have been exploring this area for a rather long time, and we have a lot of information. Ours is a good vessel.
We would love to buy your map. I will see what we can organize with the treasury.
That would not be necessary. We're just happy to help. We don't like the Greystone people, and you've helped us.
Kindness begets kindness.
Shall I bring it tomorrow to the same person?
We would really appreciate that.
Okay. Well, I guess. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We appreciate the people that you've brought here, and we appreciate your offer for the map. Novarius, you'd see a small fight break out between some of the goblins.
What are they arguing over? What are they fighting over?
They are fighting over a small golden dagger. The hilt is gold, but the blade itself appears to be iron. The dagger blade itself is probably 8 or 9 inches.
Long dagger?
Navarius just watches on. He doesn't get involved yet. Are there any? I'm assuming this is raising enough of a commotion. Are there guards already moving in that direction, or what's going on with that?
Guards are moving to get involved, but as the guards are pulling them apart from each other, one of the goblins slices off the other goblin's finger.
Yeah, he stays uninvolved. This is just normal goblin activities.
Also known as not a me problem.
Basically, yeah. I feel like that's the elven way. That's
We've got a racist on the ship.
As far as you're concerned, Novarius, elves would not let goblins into a city, because maybe there's a good goblin among them. But they just breed so... They breed such poor descendants.
Yeah,
And it's a lot
that
of
sounds-
work
that
to
sounds
make
about
a
right.
good goblin.
Yeah. Yeah, he just watches on. He doesn't interfere at all. You guys spent literally 7 months inside an elven city. You're saying you don't understand elven, sort of ways yet?
No, Nia gets
I'm
it.
not saying we don't understand your ways. I'm saying they're racist.
They're not racist. They're just much more enlightened people than you are.
That's what we call racists now?
You don't understand, Saba. Their skulls are smaller.
Ah, less brain matter. I see.
They
Well, it's
were
too
born
bad
to serve.
it's too bad I have such a small skull myself.
I'm assuming the guards eventually break it up. Yes.
Kit Kat! Sorry, she picked up my phone with her teeth, knocked my mouse off my desk, made a break
This
for it.
game got significantly funnier after we got the cat.
Sounds like you got a cat.
Yeah, okay. So the guards do end the fight, and then they start taking them individually towards where the princess is. It'd be at this point that you've noticed that there's no jails.
Okay.
Not something you easily notice about a city.
I'm sure they have their ways.
The prince eats the bad goblins.
Hmm. The prince is hungry. Okay. What would you like to
That's
do,
how they solve
Novaris?
starvation.
Norris is chilling. He cracked open the Chronicles of Eldoria, the first book. You know what? No, which one's more interesting to him?
The oldest one is the Nomads of the Shifting Sands.
He cracks open that book. Then that's the oldest one.
Sand falls out.
There's no words in it. It's just sand inside of it.
There are words written. They are written in human. Ancient human, but human.
Okay. No issue reading it then.
Yep. Okay.
Kind of weird that a random amount of sand just fell out of this book, but okay.
It doesn't look like this book's been open since the Shifting Sands. You would have expected the actual seller of this book to examine it, but it appears not. In the last section of the book, there's actually pages that are just blank, because there's a little carve out of the book where a small vial of sand is.
Okay. Is you said no, there's no magical auras on this book or on this sand or anything, correct?
There is no magical auras.
He takes out the sand. He doesn't open the vial, but he takes out the sand and just like, just like messes with it, trying to like examining it, shifting the sand back and forth, just looking
Seems
at
like
it, and then
quite fine sand. Almost powder rather than just sand.
he holds on to that for now, and then he starts reading that book.
Yep. Okay. It talks about a desert where month to month the location of places changes by 20 to 40 miles. It's like slow waves that move everything about. It talks about using divination magic to locate this desert using the sand. It provided a it mentions a provided sample in the back of the book.
Okay.
It mentions the hidden tombs and other such locations sprawled throughout this desert. The ancient kings that have constructed desert tombs, pyramids, monoliths.
Does it talk anything about these ancient empires?
Not much information is known on those different empires. This place has been around for tens of thousands of years, and this book was only written a few thousand years ago. It doesn't contain much information on the different nations, but it does mention a few recent pyramids that were under construction at the time.
Okay, he reads on. He'll continue to do so until he is fetched by his companions.
Alright. So the rest of you is finished with the prince, and as you're walking out, there is two goblins being forced to cut in line by two guards. They are being taken straight to the prince. One of the goblin is bleeding all over the place. They're kind of just sucking at the stump. After you guys finish with the prince, what would you like to do? Hello?
Go to the greatest blacksmith in the world.
Okay. Don't you mean the greatest fucking blacksmith in the whole world?
Greatest fucking blacksmith in the whole world.
Actually, it's the greatest blacksmith in the whole fucking world.
The greatest blacksmith in the whole fucking world.
Okay.
In all caps, please.
Yep. So, you get to this store, and there is silver engravings and etchings all around it. It's like the person who runs this store has taken silver that they get through coins and such, melted it down, and used it to actually fill in dents and stuff that happen to the store.
Okay.
Okay. You open the door, and you hear a ding, 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 ding sound from several bells being pulled by strings. And then you walk inside.
Walk inside.
You see shelves of small swords, of small plate armor, a goblin standing, posing, holding a sword, another goblin standing and posing wearing armor.
Like their employees.
Like they're employees.
Is the swords and armor any good?
Make me a craft check.
7?
They are pretty good, though you're not sure how good.
Right? I'll.
They're at least +2, maybe +3 quality.
Okay.
They could
They're
be
pretty
higher
good.
than that, though.
Is the blacksmith in?
You see, well, you hear someone muttering swear words in the back of the store.
Is everything all right there? Hello.
Fuck off!
But why?
Well, here to buy shit, dipshit.
Oh, well, in that case, you see a gnome waddle through. He appears to be holding the barrel of a gun. Right. What do you want to buy?
What you mean, right? Nia is fairly sure she knows how to handle this guy.
Hey, you're a gnome!
You did.
I
Incredible.
don't recognize you.
No, we just sailed in.
I didn't hear word that there was a boat. Disappointing.
I shrugged.
Thought I paid some goblins to tell me when ships dock. I have to break some knees. He twirls the gun barrel between his thumb and hand,
Making a gun?
trying to fix the bloody thing.
Oh.
These things might as well be magic for all I give a fuck.
You got the powder to use it?
I got the powder. Yeah, they gave me some powder.
I see.
Apparently I'm supposed to figure out how to make more of it. Fucking beats me. I don't have the recipe. Do I look like an alchemist? No, I'm a fucking blacksmith.
Fair enough.
Ugh.
So, Sabo, what you looking for?
I just wanted to check out the greatest blacksmith in the whole fucking world.
Valid.
That'd be me.
Hey. Yeah, cool. I want weird shit. Knives, spears, and daggers. And swords, I guess. Yeah, swords too. And both other pole arms. I like pole arms in general.
For you or a pet goblin?
Pointy, sharp shit. Sorry, what?
For you or a goblin?
Fuck would I get a goblin?
Smaller ones, obviously, dipshit.
Where the fuck would I even find a goblin?
I don't know. It's not like they
Dumbass.
aren't all throughout the streets. I'm
Yeah,
not even
bitch,
sure
sounds
they
like
all
I
have
live in
houses.
this bitch hole.
You call me a bitch again, I take that dagger and I put it in your eye.
Which one of them?
Well, I like the red one, so that one.
Cool, cool. Which eye?
The red one, dipshit.
Firstborn. She opens her palm, revealing a red eye. I think you can do that right as a changeling.
You move the eye to your palm.
Yep.
What the fuck are you?
And then they fake a sneeze, and it's a middle finger. Anyway, I want to buy shit. And their eyes back their head.
Huh?
Yeah, buy shit. You know, capitalism? The thing where I give you money and you give me cool shit? You know how that works?
Okay.
Spectacular.
That'll be
What you got for me?
90 gold.
What you got for me?
I got some cool shit for you.
I'm gonna show before that. I'm gonna show him some of my stuff to give him examples of what I'm looking for. which is really notable, interesting, or weird and wacky weapons, daggers, swords, and polearms specifically. She's not interested in any of that strength shit.
Okay. Tell
Nia
you
has some
what.
very, very wacky shit.
How much money you got?
Lifts an eyebrow. I think that's the stupidest question someone can answer.
Probably, but you look pretty stupid.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know I was carrying a mirror.
If you had a mirror, you wouldn't look so stupid.
Is that the only word you know, you trog? Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna pick you. I want you to tell me cool shit.
Right, you look like a smart man. He looks to you, Sabo.
I'm gonna summon a dragon with this fucker does.
What do you
I
want?
don't really need any cool shit. Just wanted to. Well, do you just do blacksmith or do you make?
Well, apparently
gadgets
I
as
do
well?
guns now. He throws the barrel over his shoulder.
You're not really into that. I take it.
No.
Oh, fair enough.
I look around. Is there anything interesting, James?
Don't ask me how much money you've got.
I haven't kept track of how much I've made from the ship, but you know how much we make, so I can multiply that by the time.
So I guess the amount is 0 then.
I'm going to stab you. You just said how much I had last time.
Yeah. Because that's when I gave it out last time.
I have to go look in the. No, I mean last conversation when you said Nia was wealthy.
We had an entire conversation about doing taxes or whatnot.
But I don't know how much I've gained since.
We haven't gained anything. We've been sailing around, not making
I
money.
don't. All right. And that is. It's not it. Oh no, actually, whatever. I'll figure it out. Anyway, I'll put 100 gold in the table first.
Okay.
How much they've had.
He grabs you a really thin, long stick. It appears to
Okay.
be made out of steel.
All right.
It's quite wobbly in your hands.
The steel wobbles.
Yep.
Nia's interested.
To be exact, it's thinner than your pinky.
Like a scalpel?
No. Like something that is round, but is like less than a centimeter in diameter.
Like
Oh,
a
a
needle
fencing rapier.
or a needle.
There is no point to it.
All right. Fuck's this?
What do you mean, the fuck is this?
James, what kind of weapon group would this be in?
This would be an exotic weapon.
Interesting. I'll take a few experimental swings of it. How's it feel?
Oh, this is so strange.
Yep, I want it.
Okay.
Does he have any cool pole arms too?
Let me see.
Collection grows.
No, but he does have a double-bladed rapier.
That is wacky. I
You
want it.
asked for interesting.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting it. How much?
Well, the first one was
Is it
40
already?
gold, and the second one is going to be another 40 gold. So that's 80 gold all up.
What does he have? Yep. Does he have anything for 10 gold? Any weird daggers
Yes,
or
he gives you a
pointy
dagger.
shits?
This looks like some sort of mistake. It hasn't
like
even been
mistakes.
sharpened.
Can I ask him for a favor?
No.
Pretty please?
Pay me.
I'll pay you, but can you sharpen the handle?
Can I sharp? Yes, I'll sharpen the handle.
There we go.
Okay, you would
Now
all
we have
hear
a
a
full
gunshot
tank. From where?
outside.
Gonna run out.
I'm gonna drag myself out. I'm growing my wings back out.
Nilvaris, you hear a gunshot. Do you want to approach it?
Where is it coming from?
Oh, just down the road and around the corner.
I cautiously, go look in that direction, but I try and keep a barrier between me and whatever's happening.
Is it far, James?
It's a bit further for the rest of you.
I'm gonna be using warp step and flying.
Okay.
A barrier between me and whatever that gunshot is coming from.
Okay. So, you see what remains of a hobgoblin.
The fuck happened here?
It has been blown apart. Its entire upper body is just shredded.
Oh, more like a blunderbuss then, it sounds like.
Likely
I'm
a
assuming
shotgun.
I don't see a culprit anywhere.
You do, and they are just sitting on a park bench. Probably 50 feet away. Their gun is still slightly smoking. It's just sitting on their lap.
What is it, another hobgoblin, a human? What?
Appears to be a human wearing plate armor.
Oh, it's
With
one of them.
with keeping the barrier between me and this person, shout out any particular reason you destroyed this hobgoblin.
Tried to steal from me.
What? He peeks around the corner a little bit, a little bit curious. What exactly do you sell that he would attempt to steal from you?
I don't sell anything. He tried to take my gold.
Oh. Is that normal in this town?
Didn't think so, but I've been here a couple days now, and he tried to steal from me. The rest of yous would get there at this point.
Just for reference, was there another ship docked?
No.
Hey, Nivarius. What happened to you?
I'm sorry.
What
Hey,
the fuck
Nilvarius, what
happened
happened
here?
here?
Oh, apparently this hobgoblin attempted to steal from that man over there, and he responded with his weapon, whatever that is.
Ah, the incredible violence method of solving conflicts.
Is there guards approaching as well?
There are guards, they're pretty much right behind you all. The
Gonna
one guard
observe
that
for
was
now.
nearby waited until there was other guards because the blunderbuss was used.
Yeah, Nia's just gonna watch.
The guards talk amongst each other, a little bit away from the guy. They seem all quite upset. You
What's
think
up?
that they knew the goblin?
I'm going to approach.
Okay.
Since Sabo, I'm assuming it's still like nearby. I'm curious what they do with. They don't seem to have any sort of prison or any sort of means of holding people. Have you seen anything? Because this is the second act of violence amongst these people that I've seen so far. There's two goblins fighting over a dagger, and then now this.
I don't know. The prince was very charming and I guess if the guards are not taking the time, I want to approach the guards as well. Hey guys, is it normal here to blow someone up for trying to steal?
No, it's not.
And what are we gonna do about it?
We're probably going to have to report this to the prince, but I don't think there's anything the prince is going to be able to do.
How come? One of those night people.
Is he one of the? Is he with the Castle of Greystone ships?
You'd believe so. They seem to be the only people who actually carry blunderbusses or any sort of firearm.
So how did he get here? No ships.
How
No,
tired does he look?
they swap people out every couple weeks.
So a ship comes in and they swap someone out?
They swap 5 people out, alternating.
Ship comes in every couple of weeks then.
Every 2 weeks.
How tired does the guy look, James?
He looks exhausted.
One of the-
Sabonia gives you a look.
Yeah. One of those.
It is a please stop me from doing something I shouldn't do look.
Well, it's not an issue to kill him. It's not like it's gonna go terribly wrong.
Unless there's any repercussions of him being killed.
If we do get stuck into this, we'll be responsible for doing something to protect this nation.
He will be leaving in 2 weeks, but nonetheless.
Hmm?
He'll be leaving in 2 weeks, from my understanding.
We're gonna leave tomorrow, but we won't. Well, he will be leaving in 2 weeks, but there'll be others. If they keep putting those mad guards, bards or whatever they are on this island, that means that they have a bunch of ships constantly en route here to bring replacements. Brings a question: how many ships do they have total?
Who knows?
How many ships do we need to sink to stop them from being able to attack? And at what point do they just load up a ship of these madmen and send the whole ship over?
The brought
They
back?
will, they will keep coming till that curse is removed or something else is done to stop them from coming.
One of the people that you see basically walking by to actually see what's happened screams. They appear to be a goblin.
Plus side, at some point they're gonna run out of gunpowder for their guns.
I killed him! I killed him! The goblin is standing over the corpse crying.
I wouldn't be surprised if that man didn't even try to steal anything.
One of the guards comes over to you all. Were any of you witnesses?
Came
Not a
after
direct,
the fact.
not a direct witness, just indirect. I came up right away, and I simply asked him why, and he said the goblin attempted to steal from him, and shot him, and that was it.
Well, I highly doubt that. Poor Lint. He was a good man. Okay, thank you
Oh, the
all.
goblin? The hobgoblin?
Yes.
No, you see. Not a thief then.
No, he would never steal. He would always encourage other people not to. He would help people pay back their debts. I'd imagine, knowing him, he would have gone up to this man and tried to lecture him on his people not paying their fees and how they're stealing from us.
Oh, man.
The guard
So,
is...
what did you decide to do? Sabo?
Yes?
What did we decide to do?
I don't know. We can't. Look, can we just go to war with that nation on
No,
behalf of this
most likely
island?
not.
Probably not. Can we?
I do have one idea though. If you guys want to get him,
Okay. What's your
seems
idea?
I remember the the curse, right?
We can undead him and then dead him.
Actually, what I meant we could just knock him out and send him back to the castle. That would get him out of
Yes.
their backs that much sooner.
Ah, that doesn't help. Yeah. Didn't you hear? They bring new ones every 2 weeks. And as soon as he's in the castle, what is he going to do? He's going to say, "Oh yeah, there were these people who attacked me." What happens then? Next time they bring him, he's gonna be mad. Or maybe they'll bring more. If we do anything at all, we have to see it out till the end. Unless we can. I mean, even if we kill him
Actually,
completely, we have to see it out till
we
the
could
end.
do it by poison.
And how is that gonna help?
Well, he won't know. deliberate.
Are you saying
Put
this
him
is
to
in
sleep.
range of the guards?
No, of course not.
We can put him
thought
to
there was-
sleep. That would
I thought it
help,
was-
but it's not. It's not a solution. He's here for
We
2
cannot
weeks.
solve these people's problems, unfortunately.
Okay, but there's no point doing anything to this person and risk making it worse. Unless we should only talk about a real solution. Interfering now will only make it worse for them in the long run.
Staba's right, Mia.
I want to kill him so bad.
Unless we have a greater solution to the problem at hand, there's no point in doing it. Any action we take will lead to some sort of retributive action against these people.
This person does not deserve to be alive.
He does not, but we don't have any means of doing this without causing more harm to these people.
We have no means of doing that, period. He's gonna return to Greystone and come back.
Okay.
Suppose Novirus, you're an alchemist, right? Do you
I
know
know a
any
little.
do you know any sleeping gas that you could make?
I do not. I know very limited stuff. Stuff that stuff to treat sicknesses. Stuff to augment the body just a little bit to make you be able to move faster on the battlefield, but
Right.
nothing
Well,
nothing like that.
this is their weakness. They're so to say mortal soldiers are just need to be put to sleep.
Sorry, I don't have any knowledge of any sort of sleeping elixir.
Okay. I think we might have to take this back to the Celestial Nation and see if they wish to ally with this island.
Do they have anything to gain from doing that?
Yeah, they
Trade?
don't.
That's
Sure.
exactly what the Celestial Nation is looking for, external trade partners. Don't really know how valuable silk and wine is, but
It's a trade good is a trade good.
is it worth perpetual war? Probably not.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, let's not forget what they were willing to do since, that them when the port town, since they couldn't provide what they were willing to go through, they were willing to simply cut them off.
Yeah,
I
there's not much to be done in order to declaw them. I mean, even if they were to run out of their gunpowder completely, eventually they can learn to use other weapons.
I
But
hate
the
them.
only way to really stop them is to rely on the fact that they have no magic and to get rid of their wood so they can't build ships till they start making metal ships. Yeah, destroy their port could probably set them back a few years. We probably could manage something like that. We could sink a bunch of their ships that are en route and sink, well, that's a bit. That as soon as we kill any one of them, we'll be giving them notice that we are hostile. if they had one of those madmen with them. So we go around all the ships, we burn down the ports, then we circle back and take out the ships one by one, as those ships cannot get word, and the problem is solved for a few years to come. But not permanently. That's the best I can think of. I think we have to involve a Kevin, since it's gonna be mostly his decision anyway. So I guess we go back.
We just bury the castle.
Let's get the islanders off here. Go back to the ship. We trade maps tomorrow, and this evening we talk with Kevin and decide what we do. And before we go, I'm just gonna query the guards on like the goblins fighting. Is that normal? What is gonna happen to them, etc. Just
From time to time,
data
goblins fight. Usually there's nothing too bad that happens. Occasionally some get a bit scratched up. The prince usually sits them down, has a conversation with them, tries to educate them. Sometimes it takes a few hours, sometimes it takes a day or two, but eventually he usually gets through to them.
Okay. Very nice of the prince. Right.
He pretty much
I'm
does that
ready
with all of our criminals. Anyone who he thinks it's impossible to help, they get put to the blade. I've yet to see this man put anyone to the blade.
Well, thank you for telling us. And yeah, Nilvirus, shall we go brief Kevin?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, everyone will go back to brief Kevin.
Okay.
We'll brief Kevin on as it all is without leaving anything out, I guess.
So what are you telling Kevin you want your plan to be?
No, I'm just gonna brief Kevin on the situation and see what Kevin thinks about the situation where now we have these people sending madmen to this island and who are actively murdering, and the whole nation is acting in this way, and I'm just trying to find out when does Kevin draw the line on, oh, it's time to do something about it.
The only thing we can do about that situation, because of it being so deeply ingrained in everything about them, is to break that curse. That's it.
Well, that will take some
And we
time.
can't do that.
Yes. Not right now.
I think every line of your oath except for line 8 is involved here.
Pretty much, yeah.
And they are
This
all
one's a tough-
conflicting.
Yeah, they are.
So Kevin just can't act, basically.
Worse, if he doesn't act, he breaks it.
If I do act, I break it. If I don't act, I break it.
So you're fucked.
Yes.
Well, why don't we do something? Well, let's just consider your oath broken and go from there.
No, there's gotta be a way for him to stand true to himself and do this. There's always a way.
There's not always a way. So I'm just gonna tell Kevin, this is the only plan I can think of that will give this island breathing room for us or anybody else to figure something out. And that will explain the burning down the ships and the ports. Do
So
that.
you want to just like eliminate all modes of transportation for them? Like, what is that going to
Water-based.
solve?
Yeah. Well, they can't send the madman swimming here. They need ships.
But what's that
They can't.
solve for anyone else?
What do you mean?
Like, sure, that helps these people, but you're only destroying to do it. And what does that help anyone else?
Who? Anyone else who?
Okay, just follow my thought process here. You burn
Yeah,
down
yeah.
the ships.
Right.
So the mad guards from over here don't have a way home.
No, the mad guys from over here.
Eventually, they fall asleep.
Yeah.
Eventually, whenever that happens, so they get back to the castle,
Yes.
and then none of the rest of the mad guards can leave the immediate. So the only thing they can do is torment the immediate area of Greystone.
Yes. I suppose the immediate area of Greystone has to either choose to stay with them or fuck off.
You can't honestly expect an entire like half a kingdom to be able to just uproot itself
No.
or go against the very nature of the culture that they have lived their entire lives in.
I'm not expecting them to. However, just to point out, that is another solution to your problem. Get all the non-murderers out and leave them without any workforce.
So then you just want all of the non-murderers to up to somewhere where they may or may not be able to do something. Like what's the goal there? How does that help those people?
I'm not saying I'm trying to help those people, Kevin. I'm just asking you which people you're talking about. I know perfectly well that I'm not helping those people. I just didn't know exactly what you're referring to. Yes, I know. I just have no ways of helping those people. I have a way of helping these people, and these people are nice. But the next best thing, and I don't know which one of these is best, is to do nothing at all. It's very sad to leave this prince and his people with nothing at all. Another option, we relocate these people here. Find them a different island.
I'm going to be gone for 10 minutes.
I don't think that's very fair either. Whatever we do, right now, all we can do is decide. We do nothing, or we go nuclear, essentially. And for your reference, Kevin, nuclear means very big boom. What they did to Brazil.
Line 1, line 3, line 5, line 4, line 7, line 6,
I am,
line 9,
I am
line
here
10,
Yeah.
line 11.
not
Uh-huh.
to convince you of anything at all, and I'm letting you make the decision.
So, James, I just checked the
You're
resources there.
fucked.
Uh-huh. Yeah. There's the reason I didn't want to go back to Greystone or anywhere near it.
Yep.
Like, I have a DM question.
I can't
I don't
fix
think
this
I
for
need
you.
to-
I don't know how
I was gonna
to.
say, I don't think it's even worth it. I don't think there's a way to do anything here.
Do you have a destiny moment?
Nope.
Any 3 of those I could work around. But there's 70.
Yeah, right? So, so these are, just so everyone else is aware, our options of do nothing, explicitly breaks, I think, 5 lines of oath.
Yep.
Our options of burn the ships to protect this little area, I think, only breaks 4 of
4.
them. The option of break the curse on Greystone, if that was an option, I think would still break at least 1.
Yep.
Sorry, I cut out. How many does breaking the curse break?
1.
1.
I do wonder which one, but okay. Unfortunately, that's not quite an option. And before you ask, I did check.
Yeah, James,
We-
I think line 8's the only one not involved here.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you can get me 150,000 bodies, I can wish the curse away.
What?
That's the cost for a 13th level spell.
I'm terrified to know why you know that.
I checked.
I did the math.
No, but I'm terrified to know why Sabo, the character, knows that.
Oh, I spent the DM question to know how much
No,
things are gonna cost.
I know how. I know how it happened. But Kevin
Yeah,
is just horrified that you know there's a number to it.
well, you see, it's a simple mathematical equation, really. We know the rank of spell needed, and this is the equation.
So you're just calculating death and converting it into magic.
Well,
Sabo, what's wrong with you?
nothing wrong with it. I don't go around killing people to do magic. People are already dead. Take their blood. That's it.
All right, James, let me ask you something in Kevin's channel.
Okay.
Navarre's listen to you talk, and he doesn't say anything when you say 150,000 lives. He just just shakes his head and just looks just off in the distance, like, oh my god. So it's the same sort of thing that how is Korsabo apparently at this point he's becoming customly used to Sabo's calculations. He's not sure if he finds it hilarious or just insane, but he just shakes his head as he just continues to listen.
In this time, the body would have been cleaned up and collected, taken to the morgue.
I can't think that we would have this conversation out in the open, and we probably move someplace else.
Oh, we're in the
afterwards.
ship.
You guys
We're
are
in
on the ship,
because
yeah,
we're
but you
okay.
guys are able to
Yeah,
see
okay.
this happening on the actual shore. There's still been the big commotion going on about all of this. A lot of people want revenge.
There's a reason why for Shades and Razia's oaths I was very careful about not creating conflict.
Sounds a lot like a pain in the ass to me.
Hello, it is. Get free essence.
To be fair, most of the time, my oaths don't conflict with one another. But Castle Greystone is a special exception.
Because you can't do anything about them.
Even if I could, it still breaks one.
How can you tell us at least what it breaks if you could?
So James, if I'm correct, that would be number 6 that it would break if we broke the curse. Or are you seeing a different one that I'm not?
No, that is 6.
Okay.
Though I suppose it's also possibly 3.
Yeah, a little bit. So
Is Kevin
if we-
afraid of breaking his oath right now?
yeah. Uh-huh.
Would you consider this a dangerous situation?
There's another line that comes into play with
James.
a dangerous situation.
That's rude, James.
Hmm.
It's fair, but it's rude. Not currently, no.
Okay.
Soon enough, yes, but right now, no.
Oh, what's it gonna be, Kevin?
So Kevin starts thinking for a little bit, and the more he thinks, the more distraught he looks about things. Do you push him for an answer?
Look, we can give you until tomorrow. We know what we're doing tomorrow. Or we can make the decision on our own.
Tomorrow's not going to change anything.
Well, usually you're the one who tells, who ends up having his way because of how stubborn you are with what you want to do.
Yeah, that's not how that's going to work right now.
So how is it gonna work?
We're going to need more people.
More people?
We're going to need more people.
Okay. To do what?
So I guess it depends on how we want to go about things.
Are you avoiding an answer?
Not exactly. It just depends on which people we need.
I'm gonna look at the others.
I'm down to help in any way that we honestly can, but I just don't see really how we can really assist them. If you have a lot of good ideas, Sabo, and I'm more than willing to assist in any of the above, but if we also just decide it is not worth our time or we simply cannot effectively help, then leaving is the best course of action.
We agree on that.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with
No, we're not leaving.
So we're not leaving, but we're
Well,
not staying.
no, we're not staying here.
So we're not leaving and we're not staying.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Kevin, do you want to go to your room and maybe stay there for a few weeks?
No, that's not an option right now.
Oh,
Kevin, do you need to be forced to move on?
Elvirus, have you?
He's
You
he's
reckon?
he's asking, like, Kevin, do you need to be forced? Do you need to be compelled
I
to
don't think
actually
he can.
move
I
on?
don't think he can answer that. But I think that that is exactly what we need to do.
I think we need to burn Greystone to the ground.
You know what? That was my other suggestion. We can burn all the woods around
So,
Greystone.
the question is, are we plunging it into the ocean? Or are we burying it under a mountain?
So do it in a way that no one in Greystone can ever escape. Okay. I suppose I can live with that. Um, don't have a pocket ocean or mountain on me, so let's go look for one. think ocean
Any-
is safer.
Any particular reason why those thoughts came to your mind? Do you have an idea or something that how we can actually accomplish such a task? Bury under a mountain or submerge into the ocean? How exactly? Why specifically those things? Are you just speaking in hyperbole?
I don't
I
think
mean,
Kevin is.
if we had a way to drop the moon on it, that would work too.
Do you reckon that dropping the moon would work? I mean,
I'm
they'd be
sorry?
able to leave after that. So, Kevin, am I right in saying that your goal is to deal with Greystone in a way that no one from currently trapped in Greystone can ever leave and harm somebody again once the curse has been broken? If the curse is broken. But the main point is that the only way to deal with Greystone is to ensure that no one can leave Greystone.
Just a second.
Was the DM question was used?
So you find that Kevin's once calming aura breaks away. It feels twisted, it feels almost vile. No, definitely vile. Kevin,
Yes.
you betray what you have held most dear. The rules that you have used to guide your actions, they break for one person. You feel part of yourself die. But now you have it in you to do what must be done.
All right.
And we have an Oathbreaker.
I guess this was the natural course for Kevin anyways, since he got stuck in this situation. I mean, it didn't seem like you had any way out of it.
Well, we could have not gone to Greystone, but yes.
Well, it's not like we went to Greystone. We encountered a boat of Greystone, and then we went to an island. It wasn't even Greystone.
It was inevitable eventually, considering the lines of your
Yeah.
oath, your deal with
Yeah.
Greystone, and how close you were to where Greystone was.
Mm-hmm.
But now what's done is done, and there's only what is left to do.
Yep. So I'm still waiting on an answer. Ocean, mountain, or moon?
Can you
The
just
moon-
elaborate on the exact goal you're trying to achieve with Ocean, Mountain, or Moon to help choose the right approach?
I don't want any inhabitant of that castle to be able to ever harm another soul again.
Okay, so I was on point. Ocean.
Yeah, sink it into the ocean. Obviously, if the moon fell, it would cause more damage and death than just this castle.
Yeah.
But
I'm also not sure that the moon falling would actually completely eradicate them. Mountain is a good choice. However, it's not clear if over time they could, you know, dig themselves out. Ocean, well, they would wake up and have no way to breathe. No magic. Suppose mountain does similar. I'm not sure which one is better. Let's just try to find either one. Either mountain or ocean. Both work for me. Do you want me to do the math, Kevin?
Whichever one works quicker. I
All
want
right,
this done.
James, I'm gonna do the math on a really big mountain or a really deep water pit.
I've already started looking that stuff up. I figured this was coming.
Probably not gonna be too expensive, but just so we know. And we're gonna summon Leuven and Novarius and have a chat about what we can do. Keeping in mind that we can't actually get close to it.
We're rich.
Not that rich.
Rich enough for an army.
An army to do what?
to force every single member back into that castle. To hold the castle down while we sink it to the bottom of an ocean.
That army has to be people who've never killed anyone, and that's not what an army is.
There would be some sacrifices.
What if we fund some undead to dig under the castle? Collapse it down as the first step. Worry about filling it up with water later. Would the curse go with the castle, or would the curse stay on the
Sebo, I don't think
surface?
you understand what I mean when I say sink it. I don't mean make a little pit and fill it in with water. I mean drop it to the bottom of the ocean.
Okay. But how do we move the castle with the curse?
The curse must be anchored to something. Otherwise, when the planes collapsed, it should not have moved.
Do we know what it's anchored to?
No.
Right.
But we don't necessarily have to. If we drop everything to the bottom of the ocean,
Okay, how do we move everything that much to the bottom of the ocean?
Underdark might take a couple
Right.
decades.
We're gonna end them up in the Underdark rather than the ocean, but I suppose we can do the same sink trick. That's what my suggestion was anyway. Dig under them, collapse them down, fill it up with water. We use undeads, they're not gonna get stuck. Any better suggestions?
No, I think Undead would be perfect for this.
James, does that plan sound like it would align with what Kevin's looking for right now?
Yeah.
That'll work then.
Okay. So I guess we're gonna need a lot more money. And I guess
I
we
got 55,000 still.
okay.
Should get us a good start.
Yes.
Flurry's going to give her share to this, but she's also planning on staying in this city. Well, village.
Okay. Like to protect them?
Yes. Also, it's just a nice place. And she's been looking
That's
for a
the
nice place to
Greystone
stay
people.
for a while.
Okay. Well, what we then need to do is we need to carry on back to the Celestial Nation and arrange some forces to set up camp base, dig under this Castle Greystone. Need some garrison to protect our position. Since we have to be on somewhere in the vicinity to undead. That does mean that we're going to be dealing with the sleepless people coming at us, so sleeping spells. Do we think that puts that? Would I think that from what we know, or from what I know, that putting them to sleep will just instantly teleport them back, or do they need to doze off for some time?
It's sleep plus a certain time passing. So once they're asleep,
So
they can't wake up for it. When they wake up, they'll be there. But it requires a certain amount of time to pass, so once you get them asleep, the problem's solved. It's just going to take them a little bit of time passing for them to actually vanish and reappear.
I am
okay,
back. I had to actually leave for a
but
little bit. What did we decide then? What happened?
if I
Okay,
put them
someone
to
fill
sleep
in Nia.
and they get if we put them to sleep and they instantly, what happens then?
If you put them to sleep in what, sorry?
And then somebody wakes them up right there without time.
They can't be woken up.
Okay, so just putting them to sleep is fine. Right, yeah, so here's what happened. We kind of had Kevin decide what to do, and Kevin ended up not having a decision, so Oath is broken, and we have to either bury Greystone or flood Greystone, or in other ways nuke Greystone. But basically, Greystone, the land est. And our best plan of action thus far is an army of undead dig under Greystone to the Underdark. We collapse the whole thing down and flood it. That's good summary? Am I disconnected?
Nope.
No, I heard you.
Okay. And I believe that we can't do anything immediately right now, so we're exchanging maps. Fleur is staying on the island. We're going back to Celestial Nation to start setting up this job.
This war.
And this war, yes. And our main weapon will be sleeping spells. Well, our main weapon against the unkillable ones is sleeping spells.
Hey, Nia, what field
Soon
of
as-
magic do you specialize in?
What do you mean? Excuse me? Sorry? Can you ask that question again?
What field of magic do you specialize in?
You mean as in Maroon Lords?
Yeah.
Enchantment.
What field of magic is sleep?
Sleep is... Let me check. I have to check the...
Spoiler alert, it's
Non-remastered.
enchantment.
Oh. Enchantment. So it is.
There is one other way to deal with Greystone that will satisfy Kevin. If we surround the castle with a sleeping enchantment, they also will not be able to leave. And as
Shit,
long
that's not
as
a
the
bad
sleeping
idea.
Considering they don't have any spellcasters there, well, breaking even a weaker sleeping enchantment will be difficult. It just has to be quite permanent. Probably cheaper to do as well.
I guess I'm gonna go prepare my spells. I can charge a lot of them with sleep.
I think the scale of what we're looking for is maybe devising a ritual instead to pretty
Yes.
much put over the entire affected area.
Yes. I think we might want to I don't know if I want it to overlap, although I don't know if it's gonna matter whether it does or doesn't. I guess what's important is that we don't want them to get out. So has to cover a sufficiently large amount of area to ensure they fall asleep before they can make it out. But even so, one every now and then is not a big deal. Not ideal, but it's better than a lot better than what we have now.
All right. So, waiting till the next day, getting the maps, and then setting
Yep.
out?
Yep.
Okay. The next day, you'd be able to get the map from the guard.
Yep.
I believe you're going to give the guard something as well.
Yeah. I'm still going to do that. I'll give them I'll let them know the location of the Celestial Nation.
All right.
I know that it can have side effects, but I just don't think that it's
Then with
especially
that, are you
considering
all
what
heading out?
I say yes. Anybody else?
I think so.
Okay. In that case, can I get a survival check for navigation? Or a piloting check?
Yeah, I will do that once I reload. You can do that 10d10 already. Someone, I'm reloading.
Well, how does Naya feel about taking on a bunch of immortal soldiers over and over again? Didn't you want adventure?
She is
Does she-
ready to go to war. Terrified for the
She could
child,
wait.
though.
Child will be safe. The child is probably the only one of us that will be safe.
Another question for you, James.
All right.
How do Connor and Aiden feel right now?
His name is Aiden?
Yep, apprentice number 2 is
Oh,
Aiden.
I'm gonna mock Aiden so much for this.
That looked like 4 10s.
Aiden does not want to go to war. Connor realizes if you're saying that it's time to go to war, then it's time to go to war.
Can I talk to Aiden about this then? Or does Kevin want to do that himself?
You can go right ahead.
Cool.
Kevin's not in a good headspace right now.
Yeah, that's why I'm offering. And he will probably offer this to Kevin, by the way, in character. And if he doesn't mind, I'm gonna sit down with Aiden.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to him. Just tell me when you want to do that scene.
Okay. So you
And
go
we
to speak to
roll.
Aiden.
Yep.
You would be sharpening a spear over and over and over again. It's probably lost a solid inch just from him sharpening it.
He approaches him and places a hand on his hand and is stopping him. Hey
Alright.
there.
Hi.
Wanna sit and talk?
Sure.
I'm gonna take him to the front of the ship.
Alright.
Nia sits with her legs dangling outside.
Alright. You feel as you hesitant to go too close to the edge.
Don't worry. I'll keep you safe. She unfurls her wings a bit.
I'm gonna die in this fight.
No, you're not. Why do you think that?
I'm not a fighter.
Who says you have to be?
We're going to war.
Look at me.
He looks at you.
She looks him dead in the eyes. No one is going to force you to go to war. If it is not a cause you wish to take up arms on, you do not have to.
I'm Kevin's apprentice, I have to.
Kevin would rather die than force you to do anything like that. I think if I told you you thought that he would cry.
If I don't, and you lose, then I'm as good as dead anyway.
Is that true?
How isn't it?
If you don't, and we lose, which we won't, she smirks a bit, then you have a duty. And that's the only duty I think you do have to carry. So I'm gonna need you to listen to me carefully, okay?
Okay.
If we do fall here, I don't think we will, but if we do fall here, we have to carry our memory forward. That's all we ask of you. You think you can do that?
I can try.
Well, we can never ask of you. I didn't really want to fight either, you know? I have a kid to take care of.
Then why are you?
There was this saying where I'm from. All that it takes for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing.
But you're a woman.
Did you say that seriously?
With some mild confusion.
She barks out a laugh. When they say man, they mean human. And when they say human, they mean people. Person. You, me, Kevin.
Why would they use human to refer to... Okay.
We didn't know about any other race at the time.
Okay.
I know it's weird, right? You can say it. Point is, I the things that go on in that castle, they are deplorable. And maybe that doesn't have to be our issue. But if no one else is doing anything about it, and we know of what's happening there, then we share a portion of the blame for not stopping it, for not doing something to stop it. All that it takes for that evil to continue triumphing, to continue spreading, is for no one to do anything about it. And maybe it's dangerous. You don't have to take up arms in every fight. But we decided to take up arms in this one because the things that those people are doing are heinous. You don't have to do the same. You don't have to see the same value in this fight. You don't have to see the same value in any fight. Perhaps you do not want to be a fighter at all. And I will admire you for that. Kevin will admire you for that.
I don't even want to be here at all. I'm here because I
know.
have to be. I've had my life taken
know.
from me.
I'm sorry. That's not fair, is it?
No, it's not.
I'm sorry they did that to you. You were only trying to help your people, weren't you? I'm sorry. It is an unfortunate reality that sometimes the person who stirs up the change necessary is punished for it. The nail that sticks out is against the hammer. But because of what you did, directly and indirectly, your people will know more hope in the future. I know you don't want to be here. I know that's a poor consolation for someone who's had their life uprooted in that way. I wish I could offer you more than that. But your actions then, the things that brought you here, they weren't meaningless. You've already done something that mattered. And you don't have to keep fighting if you don't want to. If I could offer you your freedom back, your old life back, I would. But I can offer you this freedom, here.
What can I even do?
What do you like to do? What brings you joy? What makes you feel like you were...
I used to like riding.
Why did you stop?
I just don't have any supplies.
James, I have supplies for riding, don't I?
Yep.
Alright, come with me. She gets up and offers him a hand.
He follows.
I'm gonna take him to my room.
Okay.
I go inside. I probably open one of my chests and I take out, would they be like notebooks?
Books, yeah.
Yeah, take out a few books, a few quills, ink pots, and I give them to him.
He goes for his gold pouch.
Look at me. She tilts his head up a bit with her, clawed hand.
He looks at you.
You don't owe me anything for this. I don't want your money. I don't want you to feel like you owe me for this. I'm not doing this to get your goodwill or to get you to fight. Do you understand me?
Okay.
The only thing I want from you, the only thing any of us want from you, is for you to find a way to live a life that makes you proud of yourself. If you love writing, you should be writing. That's all there is to it.
His eyes look less sad.
The only thing any of us has ever wanted from you is for you to be happy, okay? Did Kevin ever tell you why we took you as an apprentice?
No, but I presumed it's because I would have had to die otherwise.
Yeah.
That's why I've never complained.
But here's the thing. You don't owe us for that. What we initially were trying to get for you wasn't for you to be an apprentice to us. It was for you to continue living your life. That's what we were trying for. And I'm sorry we didn't manage it. But if we had gotten that, and we'd never seen each other again, I would have been happy, and Kevin would have been happy that you got to live a life that you're happy with. That's all we want for you. This was just the closest, the best way we found to give you that chance. You don't owe us for that. You're not here to hang your life over your head like something you have to pay us back for, okay? You've already done the one thing you needed to do to deserve all of this.
Thank you, Nia.
You don't need to thank me. You're welcome. And if you ever need anyone to talk to, I'll be here, okay? You know where to find me.
He nods.
Wanna be alone for a bit?
He nods again.
You can stay in there for a little bit. I'll let the others know not to disturb you.
He nods once more.
Right, I'll let him in there and close the door. There's nothing super valuable in the room anyway. And you trust him.
Do you tell us about what happened?
She is
Conversation?
going to tell you guys in vague words about it, yes. It's not gonna be
Does
super
he-
specific though.
We want to offer him to just stay on this island then if he doesn't want to be with us.
I don't think it's about being with us. I think he just doesn't want war. And his
Well-
perception of us has been tainted by this expectation he has that he has to be the perfect apprentice. Like Connor.
Well, anyway, do you
I
want to
hope-
offer him that then?
I will try, but I don't think he's gonna take us up on that.
That would have to be Kevin.
I think
What do you think
think
about all of
he's-
this, Kevin?
No, Nia wouldn't have told him. Kevin would have been in here for this conversation. Sorry.
Okay.
She would
Well,
have been telling you, Nilvarius, and Leuven. She wants to tell
Alright.
Kevin about it in private.
If you really think that he shouldn't be Kevin's apprentice to repent, then you should offer him to stay. I kind of think that either from the way I saw it, this was Kevin's way of telling being all in doesn't make it right. And that's how I saw it. But if
That
you
makes
see it
sense.
differently, probably Aiden should not be on the ship at all since he doesn't want to be here.
I don't think Kevin would want him to suffer.
Okay, well, let's.
I think there are ways for him to fulfill his repentance without trying to be someone he doesn't want to be.
Okay, well, I suggest you talk to Kevin about it then.
Yep, I'm gonna go do that. Thank you. Thank you for listening to me. Means a lot to me. I know it can be hard to get along with, but nonetheless, I appreciate the attention. I'm gonna go find Kevin.
Okay. You would find Kevin.
Hey, Kevin. Can we talk?
Sure, Nia.
I'm gonna take him to the deck of the ship. So Nia would give you a very brief overlook of her conversation with Aiden. Pretty much just that he doesn't feel he feels a bit sad. He feels lonely because his life was ripped away from him. He's afraid of dying in a war. He's not a fighter.
So then he doesn't have to fight.
That's what I thought. You want to tell him that, or should I? I'm happy to do that for you. I know you're going through some stuff at the moment, even though I don't really understand why or what.
You tell him.
All right. There is something I've been meaning to talk to you though.
What's that?
Yeah, it's a bit embarrassing. She kind of leans in a bit, like halfway to see if Kevin will lean in because she's going to whisper something in his ear. She seems a bit skittish about it.
He will reluctantly lean in.
She grabs you and pulls you into a hug. Gotcha, bitch. How to trick
Kevin
your
doesn't
friend into
react.
emotional maturity.
Kevin doesn't react to the hug. He just stands there.
She will hold you for a little bit. I don't really know what happened to you, but I know change is scary. And it feels like shit sometimes. Losing something precious to you is one of the worst feelings someone can have. And there's nothing I can tell you that's gonna make that feel better. But there is always going to be a tomorrow that feels right for you. Even when no, it doesn't feel like it. Because no matter what it is that got you this down, no matter what it is you lost, at the end of the day, you're still you. And I think that's something you should be proud of.
If you say so.
Don't make me break out the spells, young man. I know there's nothing I can really tell to comfort you, but when you want to talk, I'll be here, okay?
All right.
Okay, I'm gonna leave Kevin alone for a bit,
All right.
and I'm gonna go to find Aiden. So, Kevin, what do you think? What would Kevin suggest Aiden do instead? Protect the ship? Just stay in the ship, doing what? Something?
Yeah, just staying by the ship.
All right.
All right then.
I'm gonna go talk to Aiden. I'm gonna break it in the news, and I'm gonna tell him that we will likely discuss opportunities for him to settle permanently in a city if he'd like to in the future.
You would like that.
All right. Until then, she can only hope that he's not having a miserable time with us anymore. He hopes the books are helping. All right, that's it. I've done my emotional support dog for the work for the day.
Okay. So,
9 on the 1,
the
10
one,
on 9, and the 2 on the 10.
the 9s both cancel each other out, but because one was horrible weather,
weather,
one was good
yeah.
weather, and
Okay.
the 7 though, you guys see what appears to be a silver dragon far off in the distance.
Oh my god,
Okay.
she waves.
Well, we can catch up to it this time with the extra nitro artifact.
It is, by the way, a silver dragon, and we know those are pretty cool, supposedly.
Yep.
Can you say hi?
Yeah, we tried we go catch up with it.
Yep. The dragon, after it sees your ship approaching, flies over and lands on your ship.
I will walk up to the
As
dragon.
it does so, it shrinks several size categories until the point where it's just huge instead of, well, massive.
Hello, sir.
Hi!
You speak human then?
Yeah, we tend to.
For such a short-lived race, they have really made their tongue travel.
I'm always in one.
What do you mean?
Sorry, that was me in meta. I couldn't resist
Okay.
that. I couldn't resist that, sorry. Nia is
Present
going
yourselves
to approach the
before
dragon.
me.
I am Savo.
I'm Bardine.
I am called Nia. It is an honor to meet you.
What others are on this vessel?
She will, like, briefly introduce everyone that's not there to introduce themselves or not willing to.
Sorry, normally I would, but it is past 1, and I am having issues
Happy
adjusting.
birthday.
Happy
Yes, happy
birthday!
birthday.
As much as I am interested in this encounter, I cannot continue. So I am gonna have to say goodnight.
Right, take care.
See you. Kevin will slowly work his way over to the dragon.
A dwarf, an elf, a human, and a gnome. Another human, and 2 other humans. That explains the human tongue as being dominant among your people.
Yeah,
It was
I
just the
was
first one we learned.
going to mention that.
Nia does have her wings out, by the way.
Noted. You sought me out.
That we have.
For what purpose?
To say hello. That must sound stupid.
The dragon laughs. You sought me out
Frankly,
in a vessel that flies in the sky as naturally as boats sail through the water to say hello to a dragon.
Well,
What
you see,
madness? What madness do you have?
we've been flying around for a little bit, and we've seen plenty of chromatic dragons, and we dare not approach. So seeing you,
Wisdom does not elude you then.
we
not at all.
decided that it would be our opportunity to have a conversation with a dragon.
Please do not feel obligated to indulge us, but we are glad you at least stopped to say hello.
We are
I
very
do
grateful
not
for
mean
that.
to. Yes, I do not say this merely to attempt to win your favor or anything, but I had never seen a metallic dragon up close. It is quite something. It's a great pleasure to meet you, and I thank you for the opportunity. He is looking at the guy like starstruck.
An oathbreaker. It locks eyes on you, Kevin.
I'll raise my eyes up to meet his.
Why did you forsake your oath?
No, what would be the best way to describe this? There was no good way to deal with a great evil.
So you decided to destroy it by becoming as bad as it. If not worse. Do us all a favor and destroy yourself. Ask and I will do it for you.
Oh my god, a dragon literally just told Kevin to kill him.
Kevin smirks a little bit. If you think you can. Hasn't worked the last 8 times.
He doesn't mean that. He doesn't mean that.
He knows what he
Mr.
means. Are
Mr.
you
Bidet.
requesting for me to bring about your end?
He is quite distraught.
Silence, gnome.
He is looking at the dragon, a bit awestruck, but also a bit worried.
What are you going to ask me to do, Kevin?
Well, it seems to me that you think I shouldn't exist.
Quite right.
All I'm saying is the last few things that Shada thought I shouldn't exist, me dying didn't work for them. I've had a great demon rip me in half twice. Here I am. I have had a guardian of the gates of the hell kill me 5 times, yet here I am.
Yes, here you are.
Turns out destroying me is no easy feat.
And you have lived long enough to invite darkness into your heart darker than any evil you faced.
If I may ask, what is an oathbreaker exactly?
When you speak the words and make an oath, you invite power into your heart. There is power in promises.
I presume then that breaking those promises invites darkness?
Yes. And once the darkness is within you, it is nearly impossible to purify yourself again.
Nearly.
I have lived for nearly 1,000 years. I have not seen it once.
But it is possible.
Possible, yes. Likely to happen, no.
Is it not right for us to hope for that, though? To make the attempt to grow?
Of course you should hope for it. I am inclined to pray for it. But he made the decision to break his oath.
There is an evil happening. Terrible, inconceivable evil.
Then
It is-
listen carefully when I tell you this. The evil he has invited into himself is more vile and destructive and a more pure evil than any evil he has faced. He is on
If
a
there's
path
anyone-
that will make him worse than any evil you could imagine.
If there's a path out that for him to redeem this, he will find it.
For every 10,000 that make their oath, maybe one redeems himself. Sorry, for every 10,000 that break their oath, maybe one redeems himself.
You found your one.
I ask you again, Kevin. What do you ask me to do? Do you think you can be redeemed? Or should I put you out now?
I don't know. I don't know if I can be redeemed at this point, as you say. I would like nothing more than to be redeemed, but I don't know how that's even going to be possible at this point.
Then say your goodbyes to your friends. And may your God have mercy on your soul.
Wait. Can we at least talk about this? Can you maybe advise us? What Kevin is saying is that he simply doesn't know if he can be redeemed, but he definitely wants to. And believe me, I saw how difficult it was for him. He was in a. There was no choice he could make that would.
There is always a choice. There is always a path.
Can you maybe help us find it? I don't think Kevin could see it.
He couldn't see it because he gave up. He accepted the easier route.
You, Kevin, do you know what he's talking about?
I don't.
Doesn't sound to me like Kevin gave up.
He would not be an oath breaker if he had not given up.
Well, can we at least all have an assessment of what happened and understand if he had given up or not, and how to get him back on track?
I understand that oaths are not your way, so I will try and say this another way that might be easier for you to understand. When you speak an oath, when you claim it as yours, it binds you. It changes you. There is always a way to keep your oath.
Huh.
It is a question of willpower. He was not strong enough willed to keep his oath. He gave up. He allowed the darkness that has been trying to claim him for so long to finally weasel its way into his heart. And now that it's a part of him, there is little that can be done to help him.
Well, thank you for explaining. And you did say that some can be redeemed.
Some can
We
be,
just
but
understand.
there's nothing we can do for him.
Well, can we help him understand what his path is, and then ask him again
The
if he thinks he can be
enlightenment
redeemed?
must come from within and from his life experiences.
Wouldn't us having a conversation give him a life experience that he can then work on?
If it was easy enough that a conversation could spark this, he would not be in this situation.
Uh,
I
been-
understand your desire to help your friend. And I am not... Had he been an elf or a longer-lived creature, I would be inclined to say that he should continue on to try and find a way to redeem himself. But he is a dwarf. 500 years is not going to be enough.
He's not a dwarf. Sorry.
Is he a short, fat human?
No, no. He
Well,
is
technically,
well, what we call what we've been told is called a celestial. Not to be confused with a divine creature. From what we know, well, we don't know too much, but the lifespan is not the same as of the race. I think we don't easily die. That's why.
I know
as
what you
Kevin
are.
said, right? You know.
Celestials.
Huh.
The dragon
tell
sparked
me.
with rage, but then calms itself. I have seen the destruction that others of your kind have done, and I'm not going to blame you for it.
Thank you.
You do not need to thank me for treating you as individuals.
I was tortured like 2 years into this world for my race. I think we do.
I am so sorry. Humans are rash creatures. I cannot excuse their behavior, but I can plead for forgiveness on behalf of them.
I would not blame a race for the actions of of a person, no matter how much I dislike them. It would be unethical.
Then you're wiser than most.
We have been quite eager in opposing racial bias in this group.
It's evil. Celestia's first anti-racism group.
Had the racism group, now have an anti-racism group.
Now we have to make them fight.
The dragon breathes out softly, faint sparks of lightning.
Lightning?
Yep.
I thought silver dragons were
Cold.
Interesting.
Well, does that change something with the lifespan situation?
It changes many things.
Okay.
Kevin,
Oh,
Look back up at the dragon.
I have known you but barely an hour, and I can deem you the most foolish man I have met in my life.
damn.
To have lived in this world for as long as you have, and to have made an oath so recklessly. You have been taken advantage of.
How old were you when you made your oath, Kevin?
Which one?
When
Well,
you
the
made your
first
first
one,
oath?
all downhill from there.
2.
Yeah. And he's gonna look at the dragon, see the reaction.
I should destroy you now. It would be the right thing to do. But you were but a child when you made this mistake. It would be so cruel. I'm sorry I cannot help you. I'm sorry no one can help you. I hope you learn how to help yourself.
Kevin will stay silent at that.
This ship is a testament to mortal kind. This technology has been invented 5 times in the history I know of. And 5 times it has been lost.
Thank you.
It is not a... It is just bringing up that mortals are surprising creatures. They evolve and de-evolve. They rediscover old paths. They make me believe that nothing is impossible.
The only life worth living is one lived well. I think that for as long as there are people out there with the will to be more than they are in limited time, there will always be people who discover new and incredible things. Like Sabo. Yeah, patch on the back, Sabo.
Thank you. We'll do our best to not disappoint you.
It is not me that you'll disappoint. It is yourselves. I do not care.
I'll do the best not to disappoint ourselves then.
Good. It is yourselves that matters most in this. You must be someone that you can live with. You must be someone that all versions of you can live with, past, present, and future. And if you can't, then you must end yourself.
Okay then.
I hope your time in this world is pleasant. I
And
am
hope
so
to cross paths
sorry
with you again.
for the darkness that you have all faced so far. It is not fair. The dragon looks back at Kevin. Fix yourself or destroy yourself.
Based.
Those are the only paths you are left with. And then the dragon flies off. And that is where we are going to end this session. Feel free to move up to general.
I'll be quitting now. Bye bye. We will be here in textile.
Oof. Will you ever tell us your oath, Kevin?